Okay, hey everybody, Kim here with Lead Generation Source. Let me know if you can hear me and see my screen. It says I'm sharing my screen and it says I'm talking. And it says there are people here. Hey Joan, can you, it's showing you as an admin, so you can if you want to, but no, I'm just gonna cover, unless you have questions you wanna come in and ask or you wanna answer, then I've got, all I was gonna do is cover the Amazon listing as best I can since my integration is not working yet. Speaking of that, I'm trying to remember why I wasn't working. So I don't know if I see anybody else on. I mean, I see people that it says that people are on, but I'm just not sure that they are because you know how it is. It makes things up. So I'm just give it another minute real quick and do. What do you need, baby? Sandra went to the doctor today and passed with flying colors. Okay, so Linda, you can hear me and see my screen, right? And I'm specifically asking you because you don't have the admin marked next to you. So because Joanne, as an admin, you may be able to hear me when they can't, but it's, if I can see the text, okay. Okay, good. Okay, so thank you for sharing that most important information there, Linda. That was definitely critical for me to know. Okay, so I'm hoping other people will hop on. I just barely threw the reminder out there because I just barely got into my office. But one of the things that I haven't seen yet come through, what the heck is going on? Something weird going on in the chat. The chat's all wiggly. Oh, it keeps popping something in and then it's going away. Oh, oh no. Oh no, I can't see. Okay, I don't think I can see anybody writing in the chat anymore. Joanne, can you see? Okay, this is weird. Joanne, is there, can you see the chat okay? Because I can't at all. So maybe you should hop on and see if you can find any question, if you see any questions come through. Because I can't for some reason see it. I can see that you said yes, and I can see that Linda wrote, I just wrote, but when I put something in there, it just blinks in and out. And then it starts going all wiggly woggly. That's a real word, I promise. Okay, so what I figured we'd cover is just the basics of a post. And the problem is that I can't show you guys from Trex because my integration is not working yet. But what I can show you is the core elements that you need to worry about. From what I see in Locker Stock is that we're going to have to come into here and revise it afterwards. There's no way to do it beforehand. And that's because if you look in Locker Stock, I have no idea what that sound is if you guys hear that. It's something my daughter is doing. and you go into product. This is actually the one I was working on. And you go into the description here. So let's say I'm going to edit the description. This is all just one section. And in Amazon, there's more than one section. So there's no way this is going to link over correctly. There's just no way it's going to link over correctly. So at some point, you're going to have to come into it and correct it. So I'm not going to pull up an old one because, sorry, my account's been changing lately, so I'm trying to see how to do this. Yeah, I can still do it. What? Okay, create a new product listing. We're going to see if I'm going to be able to do this because they just took me out of brand registry because I refused to trademark it. So what we have is multiple categories. Like that one would be in like baby products, but most of the stuff that I'm in is in home and garden, which is another category that we have. So I'm going to do home and garden, and then I gotta remember which section I'm in. Furniture and decor, hanging ornaments. It's always great if you know where you're at, by the way. Hanging shelves, home decor accents, maybe. Yeah, decorative hanging ornaments. So I'm just going to do that one. That's where I'm at. There's a lot of different categories, and it gets even stranger because there are even more categories than what's listed. So you can, this is doing it manually, but it should automatically connect it. So we're not going to do it this way when we're doing it with Trex. It'll connect it and it'll push it over. Yeah. It's Monday. It's been a long day. Product name, let's do the patriotic ornaments. A little late for it, but it's okay. And here now, product name here is basically your title, right? So they say a short title for the product. This is where you're going to want to know your keyword. So we've done we've done our keyword research, which I of course didn't bring. This 103-degree temperature is killing me. Okay, so anyway, so I have patriotic ornaments, and then let's say I'm going to have 4th of July. I don't necessarily have to say ornaments again. In fact, it's probably better if I don't repeat it. So I could say, if I wanted to make it look cleaner, patriotic ornaments for 4th of July. And these specifically really are 4th of July, so I'm just going to leave it like that. I could do Memorial Day. I could do, 9/11. I could do all these different things, and I guess 9/11 is actually called Patriot Day. So there's a lot of different words that I could put in that are related to that, but what I would have done is the keyword research, and I just want to touch on that because last time I told you guys, and this goes back to Joanne's question about, hey, why do I need merchant words? And the real reason why I use merchant words, and in fact, it's almost the exclusive reason why I use it, is when I come in here, this is how I actually look for product ideas. So I'll go into merchant words, and we'll take shirt, for example, once I get in. So I can just type in shirt and say search. Now, of course, search. And you can see that t-shirt comes up. So to me right there, t-shirt, and I don't even see shirt's way down here, right? So t-shirt is searched more than shirt is. Linda, if you go to if you Google merchant words discount, I think. Yeah, do this January offer. It's $9 a month. It's to me, it's like I just plan on it. It's like less than coffee. So, and I don't drink coffee. But yeah, so that link is $9 a month. So that's not my link or anything. It's just one that I found and from some other group. And then I realized that you could Google it and find it. So they weren't being very nice to me, giving me something I could Google. So I Googled it, and there it is. But it's $9 a month if you do it through there. But it only does US, which is fine for what we're doing because I recommend that we start in the US and then we can expand. And of course we expand where we're making money. But like here, look at this one. Now, I talked about this before, that whether you're looking at the ASIN number, which is, the bestseller rating, the BSR number, or you're looking at search volume, you need to keep in mind that holidays affect that, right? So 4th of July shirts for women, the reason why this search volume is so high is because we're right at 4th of July, right? So T-shirt is probably always going to be high. T-shirts for women probably going to be high, but those are not keywords that help us at all. So what I would do to, and this is why I use merchant words, is I would go through and I would look for something that I could actually make, and that would be something that kind of inspires me. So I could just go through, and it could be a while before I get to one, because a lot of these are general terms, which makes sense. You know, those are big. A lot of people type in, and we've talked about this before, they'll type in shoe before they go, oh, you know what, I really want my Nike running shoes. You know, that's just the way that we are. We start off and then we start fine tuning our searches. And the more you fine tune your search, the more ready you are to buy. So we want to be in the ones that are fine tuned. So our search volume is going to be lower, and it's not going to be this generic. It's going to be what they call long tail keywords. So like even Hawaiian shirts for men, even though that's 4 words, that's still really generic. So I would keep going until I found something, unless you have a really cool Hawaiian design that you wanted to do. But I would keep going until I found something. So mom shirt could still be, this number could still be influenced by Mother's Day. So I wouldn't necessarily consider that as a super high volume. I would just keep in mind that yes, people definitely search for mom shirt, but it may not be a big seller now until Christmas, because mom stuff goes at both times. So of course, Disney, we're out. Star Wars, we can't do. American flag shirt, again, that's influenced by now, but if I had a unique American flag shirt design, that might be worth go ahead and you know, putting in my to-do list. So dad shirt, dog shirt, and of course, now here's another thing about merchant words that's nice. So dog shirt isn't for humans. This one is in pet supplies. So, and this is from Amazon, if they're finding it in Amazon where it dominates. Now, it doesn't mean dog shirt's not in for humans. It just means that this is the dominant category for it. Yeah, you can sell them, and you can sell whatever you want anywhere. They don't really care. I mean, well, except for the categories that we're locked out of. So let's see here. Of course, the branded shirts don't help us any. Jurassic Park shirt doesn't help us any. I actually have a whole list of these, by the way, that I found. Cat shirt isn't in a specific category, and you know there's crazy cat people, so, and crazy dog people, but specifically there's a lot of cat people, especially if you're doing Facebook stuff. Let's see here. So this is what I do. I go through here and I look through. Here's one pirate shirt. Now, this is one that's interesting to me. I'm like, what the heck is a pirate shirt? And so I'll come over here and I'll say search Amazon. And it'll go ahead and pull up Amazon, 2 of them for some reason. And it'll show me that the search is for, yeah, there are some, Joanne, there's some locked categories on Amazon. So like jewelry, you can't sell unless you're approved to be in jewelry. And it is a beast to get approved for it. But there's a lot of categories. In fact, here, let's look at what those categories are. What categories require approval on Amazon? Now, I say it's a beast. Keep in mind, when I did it, it was 5 years ago. So it's probably a lot easier now than it was before. But I'll also say that there's a lot more categories that require approval now than there was before. So let's see here. Of course, professional selling plan is required. So here are the ones that are required to get approval: automotive and power sports, jewelry, holiday selling guides, and toys and games. Well, okay, that's weird. Watches, which is technically part of jewelry, music, and that's because, so music and then video, DVD, and Blu-ray, this is because they don't want people reselling their used ones. They want people who, and then disappearing, right? So they've had a huge influx of people selling music and the video, DVD, and Blu-ray, and they've been copied, so they're illegal. And so now you have to be fully approved. So you almost have to be a dealer in order to get into these 2 categories. Amazon handmade is really simple to get into. That one's really easy. I got into jewelry. I'm in jewelry for EP Laser, but it's not as easy. You had, like, for me, because I was doing my own branded jewelry, I had to jump through hoops and take pictures and provide like a ton of stuff. It's different now than it was then. So it might be a lot easier now. But, you know, fine art, I think you have to just determine what it is, but like the canvas wall art stuff might end up falling into the fine art category. You need to look and decide. And here's an example. So I was selling, what was I selling? Wallets. I was selling these wallets, which are super awesome wallets. I just did not, the competition is majorly insane. But we had them made in China, and I swear they're like indestructible, other than a dog can chew them. That's about the only thing that we found can destroy them. Thank you, Austin. But my husband's had his for over let's see, almost 2 years now, and it looks like it's brand new still. They're the coolest wallets. I'm like, well, we have 100 of them, so maybe we'll just keep them and give them away as presents and stuff. Like all my family members have one that are guys. Anyway, but they're really cool. But I tried to put them into one of these categories. I can't remember which one it was. It was in clothing, so it must be one that they no longer require. But all I had to do to get onto it is to switch to a different category. And so, in fact, that's what it was. It was in electronics because it was an RFID blocking one. The listing I found was in electronics, and at the time, streaming media players, video, it's not even here anymore. So at the time, electronics was one. And so, and I'll tell you what, toys and games, they block that out starting October 1st. I think October 1st, you can't be in it unless you've done so many sales. So there's a lot of stuff that they do. If you're not on Amazon, you want to get into it now because I heard from last year that people who were trying to sign up to be a seller on Amazon starting in, I think, October, it was like a week or two delay before they even got any type of feedback or information back. I don't know how true that is because Amazon claimed it wasn't, but there were all these people on Facebook were talking about how it was impossible to get on to be a seller for Amazon. Of course, if you're starting in October, you've got a really late start. Not that you can't do it, just saying. So anyway, so let's look at the pirate shirt. So this is one. So I would say, oh wow, this is not bad. I mean, look at this one. Oh, that's sponsored. We don't look at sponsored. Keep in mind that this is using the whatever that DS, what is it called? DS Amazon Quick View, and I of course have the extended, but the extended is this stuff, price history and the BSR history, which is not as critical, though it is nice. So here we're going to go down to, here's Amazon's choice. Now when it's Amazon's choice, you know that they've been on there for a long time and that it's Prime. Those are two things that you can know. So that's a pretty cool shirt, but what if you did one with a slogan? There's like not a single one with a slogan on here, right? And then it immediately goes into, now here's women's shirts, and then we're going into just all kinds of randomness stuff. So you could do one that says something about a pirate. Now I'm going to tell you, if you live in Austin, you probably have multiple pirate shirts because they really take Pirate Day. Yeah, personalized would be awesome. So you could be like something on there that says something about, some people call me pirate, but my family calls me, or some people call me a pirate, but my family calls me, and then put their name in or something, right? That was just off the top of my head. I know it wasn't great, but something silly. So that gives you an idea to go, hey, there's a lot of people looking for pirate shirts. I don't know why, and that's insane. And in fact, what I might do also is look for Pirate Day. Oops, not date. Well, September 19th. So we're not close enough for that to be significantly affecting that search. So it's Talk Like a Pirate Day. That's what it is. And I kid you not, in Austin, from what I understand, you have to talk like a pirate or they consider you weird. So I was like, okay, I'm never going to Austin on September 19th. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so that would be something that that's what I use merchant words for primarily, is to look, because this is all e-commerce related. Now you'll still see stuff that's not e-commerce for keywords that are in here, because some people do use Amazon like an information search rather than like e-commerce. I don't know why, but they do. I've seen it. So I would go through and find ones that I could do. Like, I mean, there's not a ton at the top ones, and then like fishing shirt. Fishing shirt is probably fairly competitive. Oh, let's see what else. So here's something else you might want to pay attention to when you're doing your research, is how many show up, right? So this one says over 5,000 results. Now I don't know, that's actually not bad, by the way. Sorry, I'm scrolling fast to get down here and see if I can get to page. I'm scrolling fast again. I gave warning before I did it. Oops. Oh, come on, you're not going to go slow, are you? See, I'm seeing the 7 there, but I have a feeling with 5,000, now it says over 40,000 results. So the one thing you have to understand about this number is that it's not real. You need to go by pages. That's why I always double check it. So I skip back some. Oh, and I'm already not. You can already tell that I'm already dwindling when I'm getting Pinky Dinky Doo. And East Carolina is Pirates technically. That one's actually kind of cool. I wonder why that one doesn't rank higher. And this one ranks really high, and it's not that far up. But it's in sports and outdoor. So these numbers also don't mean anything. We don't know how Amazon decides to present the information. That's why it's just great to get on page 1. So, oh, those are ones. But here, come on. Making up your own stuff here. So let me jump to page 7. See if there's any more pages after 7. That's what I'm trying to do. Because they've been changing the way this works. No. So they're only going to show you the top 7 pages. So if, yeah, Joanne, exactly. It's not enough sales. Like this one probably hasn't, like there's no reviews or anything on this. So it's probably either hasn't been sold or hasn't been sold recently. So if you start seeing that really early on, then that would be an indicator to me that maybe it's not such a good area to be in. But I didn't see a single one that had words, not one. So if people are looking for pirate shirts, it's possible that you could come up with something and put it in there. So that's what I use merchant words for, is that I go through here, and I did that with my ornaments. That's how I found, in fact, what I did originally when I found my pharmacist ornaments was that I went in here and I typed in ornaments. You know, we sell ornaments as well, so you could even do this. You won't be competing with me because, well, I make my own. So I come in here and I'm like, obviously Christmas ornaments are going to be the highest. But what I ended up finding was that at the time, these numbers were really different. In fact, they've changed them since then on how they look. So at the time, it was July probably, and it said pharmacist ornament. It was one of the top ones, and it had like over 2 million searches. It was insane. And I was like, what the heck? So then I came into Amazon and I looked up the exact search term, and it said there were 26 of them. And I was like, okay, well, that seems like a no-brainer. I could probably get on page 1 easily because by the time I was on page 2, it was already showing mugs instead of ornaments. So granted, since then, and both Amazon and Merchant Words have changed, but it still gives me a good place to start. So if I'm looking for ideas, you know, we're talking about, oh, how do I come up with ideas? I mean, let's see, let's look, I know Alonzo's not on, but let's look up Hollywood and see what comes up with Hollywood. So Hollywood party decorations, Hollywood diet. See, that would actually be kind of funny to make a shirt for, right? Hollywood diet. I'm sure something funny could come out of that. Hollywood homicide, my homicide. I'm not seeing anything impressive here. And these, look at these search volumes. They're super low. I still go back to my argument that Hollywood in and of itself is not really it's more of a embracing terminology for multiple niches. So anyway, so that's something that you could do. You can come in, you can see what kind of search volume there is. Like we have cutting boards. You could put in cutting boards or cutting board. Cassandra, that's super annoying. Thank you anyway, though. I love you.
Can I give you a hug here?
Yes, you may. Sorry. Thank you, baby.
You're welcome. Whoa!
What? Have 2 screens going on?
No. I see myself, like, I can see my voice on there.
That means they can hear you.
Oh.
So go back in the other room. Go help Daddy.
No.
Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm just going through. Let's see if we found here. Thin cutting board, probably not. So like, again, a lot of these are going to be ones in here. But what I did was I looked up one that was Nevada cutting board, right? So Nevada cutting board, just because out of, you know, my sister lives in Nevada. And it still has 1,300 monthly search volume. And I said, you know, that's not too bad considering that a lot of the stuff that I sell, especially during the holidays, has that search volume or even a little bit lower. So even though it's a low search volume, I might throw it out there and see what's going on. But before I do that, I would come over here and I would type in, you know, go into Amazon and type in, Cassandra, please go away. There's only 52 results specifically for that keyword. Now, that doesn't mean I don't want to rank for cutting board. That'd be awesome. But the likelihood of somebody typing in cutting board and finding what they want on page 1 is slim. So if somebody's typing in Nevada cutting board and I have a cutting board that has a cool, fun Nevada, I mean, these are obviously shaped in Nevada, but I'm going to tell you now, other than Montana or maybe Washington, all the states that are kind of like rectangle, every other cutting board, even Texas, is pointless because you can't really do much with this space over here. God, stop it. Still stop it. So, you know, you can't use as much as you want of it. So it would be better to have something like this where you have the design on it. Stop it. So, I mean, yes, there are some nice ones, but realistically, like, look at this. This one has the food on it, which is completely against the rules. But whatever. We're just now hitting July. We'll start seeing all that stuff going away. So anyway, there you go, Linda. If you think the shape of Virginia will work, there you go.
Can I play Wheel of Fortune?
No.
Why?
No electronics. Go.
But I.
Honey, can you please get her? Okay, so then let's go back here. So let's say we've decided on our idea. We've come up with our idea, and we've pushed it out through. In fact, this isn't going to work this way. Let's go back and see if I can find a different product to look in. Just keep in mind that what you see on these are going to be, the listing itself is going to be different based on each category. And I'll show you exactly what I mean here. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to edit this St. Patrick's Day ornament, maybe. Edit. And then I'm going to edit these jewelry, these earrings, right? I'm going to close these out real quick. So now I come in here and we've got a bunch of different things, but it starts off an offer when it comes in, and you can see it starts with the price, then the SKU, then the sale price, and blah, 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 which I'll cover all that in just a second. But how this looks is not always the same. For me, like my shipping template is right here, down here. And in here, this is the ornaments, and this is in decorative hanging ornaments, exactly where I've been putting them when I do it manually. And this one comes in and the shipping template's first. So each category is going to look differently, but have similar components. There's still going to be unique components. Like, for example, jewelry is going to have components about if you have gemstones or don't have gemstones, if what kind of ear wires you have, all that type of stuff that goes with jewelry. Whereas ornaments aren't going to have as many different elements. And in addition to that, there are some categories that don't allow variations. So my whole point is when I'm telling you this, just keep in mind there's variation based on what it is. And since I can't show you how it's going to look until I get access to pushing it over, we're just going to have to wing it and show you exactly. Well, we won't show you exactly. We'll show you exactly the elements that I have, but not exactly the elements that everybody has. So let's look at these Celtic ones, because I actually did a pretty good job when I started this one. This is probably one of the first ones and only ones I ever optimized. Now, you don't have to optimize this much, by the way, but it is helpful to, let's actually look at the detail page because that would be better. It is helpful to make sure that you have enough information on there. So what I did in this title, first of all, remember I did all my keyword research. And then what I did in the title was I started with my brand, because I am a brand. You don't have to, and I would split test this because Amazon keeps going back and forth. So I don't know that it's critical, but having your brand in it seems to give you some sort of a bonus over not having it in there. And in fact, one time I didn't have it in there for I used to sell on another account as well for All Time Finds before it was currently All Time Finds. And I had the mugs, those mugs that I had, those stupid mugs that I have a gajillion of. And what happened was somebody somehow went in and changed it. And when I contacted Amazon, they're like, well, that's what it says on there. So that's what it says on the information. So that's what on the actual boxes. And so they're like, so that's what's going in the listing. So somebody at Amazon must have either approved it or changed it themselves. And so what they did is they put it in there and said, buy All Time Finds. So they branded it for me, even though I didn't brand it. I was like, okay, well, fine by me. So the first thing you need to keep in mind is that you want your primary keyword. So if you put your brand first, which I did, stop it, then your primary keyword goes next. So Celtic ornaments was my primary keyword. You do not have to include the 3-inch, you don't have to include sizing or anything else. That was something that I did back in the day that I wouldn't do anymore. Like, in fact, I might change it. Part of the reason why I put it in for me was because I had a lot of people who would complain about the size. And they're like, and literally it would say 3 inches, blah, 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 and they would complain about the size. And so I stopped, I started putting in all of it so that they knew that these were ornaments and not wall decorations or tables or whatever the heck they thought they were buying for less than, $30. I'm like, okay. So then what I did is I also talked about what the uses were for it, because what people might put in here, of course, related to the keywords. So like gift baskets, even though this isn't a gift basket item, it can hang on gift baskets. So it would be great for if that showed up somewhere. But regardless, I want that to show up for Celtic ornaments, and then it's great for craft items, as gifts, as decorations, etc. There are no real rules beyond you want to put your primary keyword towards the beginning, and that's more for Google than it is for Amazon, because Amazon doesn't, they say they don't care, and I say that loosely. Let's actually come in here and see. Vital info, and they have like suggestions in here right now. So short title for the product, this will be displayed in bold on the product page and in the title bar of the browser window. In fact, I think I might have to change this one. Some of the categories now have a limit. In fact, I think it's jewelry that has a limit. So you can only do like this much now, right? I mean, I don't know if that's exactly how much it is or not, but there's a smaller amount. So some categories may have a cap on it that says limited to X amount, or when you type, they'll tell you that. I had to go through and revise like 50 listings that weren't even active because they were like, it was giving an error in the system until I went in there and changed the product name. Brand name, this needs to match what your G10 exemption was. And that, like I said, this should come over automatically, and your product name should match whatever the title is that you gave it. However, you want it to adjust your title to match what you decide to go with. So whatever your keywords are. And there is no, like on Etsy, you try to make it read great. Nobody on Amazon does that who's ranking well. If you go in and you look at the top ranking for personalized shirt, how about? I can't think of a word that somebody would actually use. Let's do accountant shirt. Ooh, actually, accountant gifts was better. All right, so accountant gifts, come on. Something on this computer that's been causing search things come. So they've got a bunch of different ones here, right? So they've got, these are all different things that we could do, right? So they've got accountant. In fact, you could take something similar to this and make it personalized. I don't even know if we offer that, but that's probably from Gary Bubble. So look at how this is listed though. Wait, that's sponsored. That's a bad one to look at. Sorry, I forget they have the sponsored in the beginning. So here's an Amazon's choice. Come on. When I click, I mean click. Don't act like Microsoft. Are you sure? Yes, I want to click. Okay, so they actually have gifts for value is their name, and they do not have it anywhere in the listing, and they're still ranking. So like I said, sometimes it works, sometimes it's not critical. So this one says accountant gifts. It's a cruel world, CPA, coworker, gag gift, coffee mug, tea cup, taxes. So other than accountant gifts is their primary keyword, this is describing what it says. So if somebody decides to search for that, it's still there. CPA, from here on out, is just random keywords that they added in. And that's what's ranking in the first place. So there are no rules as far as you want to go ahead and get your keywords in here, but you don't need to duplicate, right? So if you have accountant, you don't need to repeat accountant again. You only need accountant once. So that's why you don't need accountant mug, accountant tea cup, accountant gift. You don't need, well, actually they have gift and gifts here. So that's okay because there's a variation, but you don't have to do that because Amazon doesn't acknowledge those as individual words. They acknowledge that as the same word, but they also, I don't think, are penalizing, obviously. Now this one doesn't have a very good, and this is where we are going to dominate, by the way, is that we're going to have our listings look much better than, say, the people we're competing against. Now, so they did a fairly good job in the title, though I would still sneak in that branding if you can. Especially since they have it here, this copyright gifts for value, they should definitely have it on there then. And then, but right here, so this account, this is really difficult to read. It's not like they have a choice. This is the way it comes. But these are, sorry, I had to unclick that somehow. So these bullets come here, and I think I showed you guys this one where they had the like little marks on it. Technically, that's not supposed to happen. Like I don't have that. But the way it should work, and this is the way that some of the formal, very expensive training tells you to do it, is you start off with this in all caps, and then you talk about it, and then you do all caps, and then you talk about it, and then you do all caps, and then you talk about it, etc. Now, this is where you don't want to put in your 3 inches and blah, blah, blah. Now, I snuck that in because I could not think of, the bullet points are automatic, but you can, I believe, let's go since we're in here. Nope, description. Yeah, so you can also see I've got some HTML going on here, but like if I wanted to, I would use the Alt, like Alt 3. So use Alt, so it's, you push Oh, I'm not on a Mac though. So if you're on a Mac, it might be different. But I would do Alt-1 is a smiley face. I wouldn't do the smiley faces because that'll probably get you in trouble. But you could probably do a heart. There's a diamond. That was 4, Alt-4. And just go through the Alt. Just hold down Alt and then push one of the numbers and you'll find different ones. And you can put that in there. So let's see if I put that. I'll show you guys how that looks a little bit different. And you can have like 5 of these, but I still only have, I've seen them. Technically, you're not supposed to. It's supposed to only be straight HTML and then numbers and letters. And even then, the HTML is very minimal, like up here. So you can't put HTML in here. So let's see what it says here. Max 100 characters per line. Use these to highlight some of the product's most important qualities. Each line will be displayed as a separate bullet point above the product description. So it doesn't say, hey, you're an idiot, don't do that. Let's save and finish and see what happens. Dang it, there's my yurt. No, I'm just kidding. That would have been funny, huh? And this might take us a little bit to update. Oh, nope, there it is. And so now there's the heart. The heart actually kind of makes it break it up a little bit more. So I would use those sparingly, first of all. But in fact, I'm going to see if I can find a Celtic design to go there instead. There's the clover or something, right? So you could do something like that where you do the Alt. I have not seen a ton of listings that do this, but I have seen a ton of listings, or I've seen listings that sell a ton that do that. So you may want to sneak those in. Like I said, originally when I first did this, when I first learned all of this, it wouldn't even accept those. It wouldn't accept HTML or anything. So this part up here is where you want to put your emotion triggers, right? So especially with like, you got to think about, you got to get in the mind of your customer, right? What didn't they just talk about that on one of the webinars? On the leggings, so why are they buying this? Right? So why are they buying this? For me, I was like, well, because they're celebrating Celtic. And of course, this is probably not the best, copy that I've ever done, but I have not had time to go back through and think about this. And for when you're looking at it from your own standpoint and it's your own product that you've designed, it's much harder to do than if it's like something you're like distanced from. So you might want to just do it for somebody else's and then translate it over. Like say, okay, if I were buying this from them, what would I be looking for? Or look at some of the top selling ones. So for me, let me go back to Amazon, check this. And we will not go into home and kitchen. We will check all. Oh, Celtic ornament. I don't know if I come up yet or not. There I am, first one. So that was I was coming up as the first organic search for Celtic ornament, which is freaking awesome. Just saying. And look, here's another thing. So like I have 13 reviews on this one. This one has 27, this one has 16, this one has 5. Now that's not very many for any of these, but a lot of these you're not going to see very many. And so if you start seeing 100 and 500 and 1,000 and 30,000, you're probably not going to be able to rank for that keyword. So yes, you can sneak it into your keyword research and list it in here, which we'll talk about that in just a second. But for the most part, I would focus on the words that you can do a little bit more control on. So like for me, Celtic ornaments was going to be better than Christmas ornaments because Christmas ornaments is going to be difficult to rank for. So I did my little bullet points up here. And again, you want to focus on the benefits, not the features. So these are the benefits, and the features would be like, oh, these are 3 inches, they're made from wood. So like kind of the stuff I snuck in here because I didn't know what else to say. And I'll have to come, my grandpa's done a bunch of stuff, so I might have to have him come and look at this and go, oh, well, here are the benefits that he sees. But he's just like me, super analytical, looking for exactly size and, make and model and all that kind of stuff. So let's see here. So here's the product description, right? And this still is not 100% of where I want it to be. But if you type it in just however you want to, if you do not use, that's where I wanted to go. Let's go back into the edit. If you do not use the HTML elements like the paragraph breaks, description, isn't that funny? The description is first, but it comes last on the page. And then your key product features, which is hilarious. They also say features here, but you want benefits. So if you can invoke emotion, that's where you want to evoke the emotion is in here. Yeah, so up here you can see where I did this right here. So this and I was going to do some bolding, I think, too. So they have this what is that? Whatever kind of bracket that is with the P and then the other bracket, and then I have the word that I want, and then the bracket and the slash P. That's basically paragraph start, paragraph end is what it's called. And when you look at this, you can see, so this is paragraph start and that's paragraph end. And so this one would be paragraph start and then paragraph end. And I don't know why this doesn't come out exactly the way it should, but I've never actually looked at this either. So there might be something in my coding that's wrong. So there's just a little bit of, there's a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of HTML. So it doesn't look like a blob of text. Yeah, so basically you want to break it up. And what I did in this case was that I basically broke, you can expand on it. There's a lot more you can write than this. I think you have like 2,000 or this one's max 2,000 characters. Again, that's going to vary by category. Like some categories you can do like 500. I don't know why, it's just the way it is. So just go with whatever it says on how much you can do. If you can't come up with 2,000, that's okay. You know, there's absolutely no reason why you should force yourself. I have seen, heck, I have had stuff sell where it's had, up here has had no description and there are 2 sentences that say this is made from wood, this is religious. That is all it said. I 100% sold that by the picture. They weren't very happy with it when they got it, but it's their own fault. This wood is lighter than I thought it would be. What do you mean by lighter than you thought it would be? And why is that 3 stars? So yeah, Amazon people are crazy. So that's just like the gist of how you need to go through the key product features and the product description. Now the part that you really need to worry about, so keep in mind that like right here, I said celebrate Celtic and I snuck in ornaments, and I think I have Celtic ornaments in here as well. If not, it doesn't matter. I dominated the Celtic ornament one. I'm not going to change this. Yeah, so I didn't stick it in there. But what I would do is in your first product feature, repeat your main keyword once here, and then I would put it in, of course, in the description. And then, of course, you can have you sneak in other keywords, all of your complementary keywords as well. So like decorations, so I have Celtic decorations, like good for weddings, stuff like that. That's all snuck in here throughout here. But what I've also done is I stuck in the keywords. Right, so here's where the search terms are. Now these are not visible. I wonder if you can even see them. View page source. Let me see if they show up. Well, while that's loading, we will continue with this part. So here I know there's a max, but it doesn't say. But here, like this is wrong. They've changed this. So mine is now wrong, even though it still has them repeating. Right, so there's no comma. First of all, do not waste your time with a comma or period for that matter, because the algorithm doesn't care about that. So what it's looking for is the words, right? So like I have British gifts, Irish gifts. I wonder if I come up for Celtic gift. You see I do not track this very often, do I? So let's see here. These are not sponsored. So yeah, I do not, at least not at the very beginning. So it looks like repeating gifts a gajillion times didn't help. Yep, not at all. But there's still only 9 pages of Celtic. And you can see my point with when you drill down to something like this. So even this one, like, so this is the keywords anywhere. Celtic gifts has 1,000 per month. Let's see what merchant word says. They say 7,900. So at 7,900, let's see what ornaments is. Say ornament because that's what it came up as. Only 2,100, and that's one of our best sellers. We'll sell several hundred of those at Christmas time. Several hundred. And why? That's because this is a very hyper-focused keyword. When somebody's looking for a Celtic ornament, they want a Celtic ornament, and I give them a Celtic ornament. So it's the same thing. You know, if you have a shirt, you need to, if it's a general shirt, there's not much you can do. Those are harder to sell, but if you can get some momentum with them, they can get popular, then you can do really well with them. So I'm not saying don't do those, but what I'm saying is if you can get as specific as possible so that somebody is searching for that, can find that, you will make some money. You will make some pretty good money. Like I said, we do very, very well with our Celtic ornaments at Christmas time. And well, in my world, that's a couple hundred people are like, oh, that doesn't mean anything. But look at the search volume, 2,100. So if I could do this, which I don't have the manpower to do this, that's the benefit, right? With doing the print deck Trek stuff, is that we don't have to manually make the stuff. So we can scale, which means that if we can add another product in, if it sells 200, then we can add another one that sells 200. We don't have to worry about it. That's, Randy gets to worry about that. So for me, I can't do that. If I have 10 of these and I'm selling 2,000 at Christmas time, which I sell, I don't know, at least a couple thousand at Christmas time for ornaments, but I have to prepare for that, right? I'm working 6 months of my life pretty hard in order to do that. And whereas for us, we just have to design it, stick it up there, and then when it sells, it goes out. It's not 6 months of my life to do that volume. It's whatever amount of time I feel like dedicating to it, and then making sure I do my research. That's the biggest thing I think I've seen on this in my mind is the research. And of course, I haven't been able to integrate, so I can't tell you for sure, but I can tell you with my experience that I didn't research Celtic ornament when I did it, to be honest. That's the one thing, actually the one ornament design that I did just because I was like, oh, those look cool, I want to do that. And because I found a similar pattern, and then I recreated what I could from the pattern, and that's what the ornaments turned out to be. So, and of course, I'm also competing with Celtics on that, right? Celtics as in sports. So that's even that 2,100 may not be all for the Celtic culture. And by the way, I say Celtic because I'm in academia. That's what I told my grandpa. He goes, well, the people who live there say Celtic. I go, no, everybody in academia says Celtic. And he's like, that is true. That is what I found in my research. Okay, let me go here real quick and see if I can find keyword. No, this is the title. So I'm just looking to see keywords. So that was kind of interesting because did you see, this is the first one, right? So meta name, keywords. So what Amazon's done in their code is they prioritize the title for search engine optimization. Because that is the title, EP Laser Celtic Ornaments, set of 4 for decoration, gifts, or crafts. So again, I would probably, since nobody's ever going to search for this kind of stuff, set of 4, 3-inch, I would leave that out. So when I'm looking at this and I'm seeing that means, to me, that means that they've prioritized the title. So your title is the most important to put your keyword in. And of course, for me, the Celtic Ornaments is the first keyword that's not my brand name. So there you go. Evidence. All right, so let me go back to here though. And so no commas. You shouldn't repeat, but obviously it doesn't seem to matter. You can do whatever you want. So to me, Celtic Snowflakes and Celtic Snowflake, I did this as 2 different ones. Again, this was more me manipulating it back when they didn't tell you to repeat it. And then I snuck in ornaments there. Again, St. Patrick's Day ornaments, St. Patrick's Day decorations, Scottish gifts, British gifts, Irish gifts, which is funny because I get a lot of people who buy them from Scottish, I think, which is ironic to me because I am part Scottish. Very distantly, but so Irish symbols, Irish crafts, Irish Christmas ornaments, Irish wedding. See, and I don't think I rank for any of these. Irish gifts. Oh, actually, I want to keep that up. I'm going to double check this just because, see, but those are all bigger keywords too. Irish gifts, right? So I put in Irish gifts and look at this, over 30,000 results. And that could get higher, but they're only going to show you the first several pages. So if you're getting over 30,000 results, that's still not a ton, to be honest, like versus, we'll look at something in just a second. Let me just, oh, and look at how this one's laid out. It's not the same gallery format. This is straight down. So there's a shirt. So of course, Irish is manipulated because of St. Patrick's Day, so that's not exactly helpful. But you can look at this, the bestseller ratings here, and say, look, these aren't exactly low, so there's still some demand in them to a degree. That power still could be coming from St. Patrick's Day, though. This one's not. That one's sponsored. So look, I don't come up, and they're not showing very many. So there you go. Celtic ornament. Let's go back to here. So we've talked about this is your most important. This is more important. So obviously your title is the most important, but this section here is the next most important when it comes to conversions, because most people aren't going to actually scroll down and look at the product description, which cracks me up because why have it if nobody ever looks at it? But the product description is your chance to, if they've seen the pictures, they've seen the title, they've read here and they keep going, that usually means they're not quite sold and they want some more information. So this is where your chance is to expand on it. I did not take that opportunity, but it doesn't seem to affect my listing any. People literally are buying mine from the picture, I think. And you want better pictures than I have. Like, these are pretty blurry. And they're from a professional camera, this one is, but I didn't know the camera was broken. So is that one. So it looks kind of blurry, and I'm like, what is going on? And then I finally figured out that the camera was broken. I was like, son of a, but these are all scanned. These are on a scanner, in case you guys wondered. My dad's scanner. He has a special scanner that's for like arts stuff. And I think he broke it anyway, so now I don't know what we're doing. Oh, except for when he sends it to me and it has like ketchup on it. I'm like, Dad, there's ketchup on here. He's like, no, it's probably stain, you know, like wood stain. And I'm like, Dad, it's ketchup. It's clearly ketchup. He's like, I don't think so. It's either that or blood, Dad. So those are your main elements. I mean, that's pretty much it. If you've done your keyword research, you'll be able to do all of those relatively easy. So I say keyword research slash your, you need to kind of know a little bit about your audience. To be honest, I kind of use Etsy for a little bit for keyword research because it's a lot easier. So obviously they're not going to be able to see the keywords. Like, I put all these keywords in, but it doesn't come up in the data. So that's only in Amazon's internal searches. So what I would then do is I would head over to Etsy. If you're like, oh, hey, I'm kind of stuck for keywords, I want to get creative, then I would probably go over here and see Celtic ornament. See some of the ones that are over here that people are going to be ornaments though. And then remember, they have their tags at the bottom, which I gotta remember which way the bottom is. So related to this item, of course, these are the categories. And then they got ornaments, Irish gift, I can't remember how to say that, clada or whatever, ornament, Celtic, Christmas ornament, glass ornament, holiday gift. So that doesn't apply to me. So I pretty much got all of these except for glass because it's not glass. And holiday gift is really generic. I'd actually surprised they rank for number 1 on this. Memorable gift. That's their name, memorable gift. So that's basically it. So what questions you guys have so far? You can see I do not limit myself anywhere in any way to find keywords. I do love merchant words though. Yeah, Linda, that's why I had a private investigator license, but we gave it up because we're closing our business. But that's what students were, I'd creep them out. They would be like, because their assignment was to look like people up on the internet. They'd be like, and they gave them it's an old book, so they would give them like 3 old places. I'm like, or you can do this. And I did a video once and I showed them, I'm like, look, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to look up this person and see if they have any property in Tarrant County. And so I'd pull it up and I'd be like, oh yeah, here they are. And then I would take that information and I would go and I put it in like Google or something. And then I would pull out more information, and I'd go and find it somewhere else. And I'm like, okay. And then I could put this whole profile together of where this person lived, where they had lived. And it's like, you can do a lot of that anyway, just by typing the person's name and city in, but like legitimate information, like here's where they live. This is how much they're paying their property taxes. This is what they used to allow us to see the exemptions too, but we can't see that anymore. I mean, it would creep them out. I like doing that. I like manipulating databases to my benefit. Most people would say that that's dishonest, but when you're doing research, is it? I don't think so. Using other people's hard work for my benefit? What? That seems like the American way. You guys are so quiet. Nobody laughing at my jokes. I can't hear you guys laughing at my jokes. I still can't. I can only see that. I can't hear it. Are you? That's what makes it more fun. I'm like, I think they're laughing. Have I gone too far? So I mean, it's not hard, right? It doesn't seem like it's hard, right, Joanne?
No.
It's pretty
Nope,
simple,
just
pretty
takes a little
basic.
time.
It does. And
Mhm.
honestly, if in this case, I would probably, now that I know, even just doing the little bit of research I've done, I'm not going to change this listing because it ranks number one already for something. But if I had a listing, if I was starting from scratch like I'm going to be, I would only focus on a couple of keywords in the main title that I want to rank for. Because if I were going to put, like, I don't have Christmas in here at all because I knew ranking for Christmas ornaments was going to be impossible. In fact, let me show you guys how impossible. So 60,000 is still not bad. That's kind of, but this will get bigger. So it's 60,000 right now, but what'll happen is in like October 1st, all of a sudden that'll jump to like 2 million or something stupid. So let's see here. So Christmas ornaments. Yeah, look at here. 403. Is that, and that's Amazon's choice. 403 reviews. Yeah, I'm not going to beat them. 49 I might be able to beat. 108's tough. 414 tough. But you can even see this category is just, it's a lot more popular, a lot more things that are searched. The glass Christmas balls are searched more. This one's interesting. Our first Christmas as Mr. and Mrs. and it has the years. That's a personalized one. So that is very interesting for us in, the print deck integration. Because that's horrible looking, first of all. But they have 116 reviews. $18.95, but it's Prime. That's the one thing we do. Wait, how? They must be redoing. They must be doing putting the 2018 in there and then sending it in. See, now that's risky. In fact, I was going to do this thing to show everybody, not necessarily you guys, but to show. So when I sell on Amazon as a manufacturer, direct selling for the only prices that they're going to command, and I say, okay, I should be able to, everybody wants to, I want to make 50%, right? That's what everybody wants to do. They always go, I want to make 50%. So I'm going to buy something, I'm going to make, or 100%, right? So 50% of the sales price. So you buy it for $5, you sell it for 10, you keep 5. That's what everybody wants to do. Because that's traditional, old school retail. That's what they would teach you. That's not exactly right because I used to work at Montgomery Ward's and our electronics were marked up 800% and our jewelry was marked up even higher. So I know it wasn't a 50% profit, but anyway, let's just say that's what everyone wants to do. And you go, okay, I've done this and been doing this. And even through this last Christmas where I was able to fine tune everything and I could probably get it better. But let's say that on a good, if I were to fine tune it enough, I might see 30% of the sales price as profit. That's taking out my cost of goods, my cost of all this should be, but doesn't include labor. Right. So I'm not paying anybody because I own my own company. It's just me and my dad and whoever else we drag in at the time. So I'm looking at a 30% return, which is not horrible, but think about how much work we put into that, right? 30% return. And when I was running our numbers, we were looking at, even after advertising, a 20% return. But with no labor, we don't have to be paying anybody and we don't have to do anything other than make the listings and collect the money and then a little bit of customer service, which we could eventually, and that's on the low end. If we fine tune our marketing, it could be even higher depending on, what market we're in and blah, blah, blah. So I personally sit there and go, wait, I don't have to have help. I don't have to have this huge laser, well, multiple lasers in this case. And I don't have to argue with my dad about what a product should look like. And then I don't have to, there's so much stuff I don't have to do doing it this way to get a product out. I mean, you guys don't even understand how hard it is to go from just the idea. I mean, just think about how hard it is for us to come up with an idea, right? An idea for like a shirt. We're like, oh yeah, we're coming up with this idea. And then we have to come up with a design for it, right? Well, I had to come up with a design. Then I had to convert it into a file I can cut. And then I had to fine tune that. And then I had to turn around and I had to take professional pictures. I have to remove the background, which I haven't done. But let's pretend I did. remove the background, get it just to get them on Amazon. And then I had to take lifestyle shots myself of ornaments. Ornaments. I can't hang them on people and think that's going to go very well, though I might try. That I might try. So there's just a ton of work that goes into it from when you're just doing your own, making your own product. Even if you're white labeling, you still have a lot of work to do. Doing it with the print tech way, especially once Ken gets his lifestyle shots done, this is going to be amazing. This is going to be wonderful. I don't see any questions from Linda. She's playing with her dogs. She's still laughing about the last joke. So no questions
hey,
on?
I don't. Yeah, well, why was it so hard to do jewelry? Like, what is their deal on the jewelry, putting it on?
Well, when I first started, and the reason why I think this was harder for me than it is now is because when I first started, let me go back and see if I can show this to you. So I wonder if they have me categorized that way. So they have two different types of jewelry, right? They've got fine jewelry.
Oh, those are cute.
Yeah, I don't know. They gave me 3 stars and said something about they're not very well made. And I'm like, how do you want them to be well made? Everybody says that. And I'm like, that's so vague. Like the laser didn't do a very good job on those though, because my dad, yeah, that's the part that bugs me is his inability to, oh, yeah, I don't have one here. I don't have a capitalized one there. Anyway, so what they originally had is they would come in and they would say, you could do jewelry, and it was general, right? It was just jewelry in general. Then what they would do is they came in at like, I don't know, I was been into jewelry for like a year and a half or something, and they had a ton of people complaining because people were selling stuff as like diamonds and pearls that were fake.
Oh.
And so what they did was they changed out the category. In fact, let me see if I go to jewelry, is it under clothing? Where is it at?
And just another example of the bad people making it harder for the good.
Right. So if I go to clothing, let's just go to it. Click on it. Nope, it's not letting me click on it. I guess you still have to categorize it down into women. So we'll go women and then jewelry, and then see if it goes down. Yeah. So now they break it out into. No, they don't. So what they did is they broke it out to fine jewelry and. It's not costume jewelry, but they call it something else. It's whatever I'm in. I'm not in fine jewelry because I don't sell gemstones. I don't sell gold. I don't sell silver. You know, I mean, and I don't mean like sterling silver earrings. I mean, like they want silver bracelets would be fine jewelry, right? But a silver plated bracelet would not. And so they want those in different categories. And so like I don't fall into, and they specifically focus on the gemstones and so the gemstones, I think that's the key thing. Like if I go in here, I even have to clarify that I don't have a gemstone. Whoops, that's the wrong spot. Let's go back into edit. Yeah, it's hard for me to take that 3-star review on this one because my grandma put these together before she died. Before she was hit by a freaking truck. I'm still bitter.
Was she really?
Yeah, the guy was texting and driving. And he went through a hospital zone.
Was she driving? Was she driving or walking?
She was driving. She was in the left turn lane, but there was no actual left turn lane. You just have to be in the left lane with your turn signal on, but it's a hospital zone, so you're supposed to slow down. Well, the guy was on his phone. He came around the corner on the phone, wasn't paying attention. He even said, I didn't know where she came from. And we're like, whoa, if you didn't see where she came from, you were going way too fast and you weren't looking. And then he told the cop that he was taking a drink. And I said, how long does it take you to take a drink, and why do you take your eyes off the road? I can drink without taking my eyes off the road.
Me too. I do it all the time.
And then there's this thing called straws if you can't. So I was pretty upset, and I don't think they've ever done anything. But yeah, you know the max penalty here is 2 years in jail. He doesn't even go to prison. He would go to jail. That's the max penalty for killing someone. And I'm like,
that
okay.
sucks. How long did that happen?
2016, We're coming up on the 2nd-year anniversary, and well, actually, she got hit on the day she got hit was on Halloween. She got hit on Halloween Day, and then she was in the hospital for like a week and a half, and she just couldn't. They had her on a tube for breathing, and then it just got worse and worse, and then she ended up getting pneumonia, and they're like, look, there's no way she's going to make it from this. She had too many broken bones, too much stuff, but she was buckled up. By the way, this is exactly why I hate Priuses, by the way. Well, the first time I ever saw the Prius, I told my dad and my grandpa, because they all were driving one, and I said, look, I hope you guys don't get hit by a truck. That's what I told them the first time I saw it. And they were like, why? And I said, because that thing is not going to survive getting hit by one of these big rigs out here. And then what happens? She gets hit by a freaking big rig. And I'm like, I was so mad. And then my dad goes and buys another goddamn Prius. Sorry. But I'm like, freaking A. Why do you buy a Prius? Your mother died in one of those, but she was buckled up and he hit her so hard. She came out of it, broke the seat, and she flew out the back window. That's how hard, that's how fast he was going.
Oh.
And I'm like,
I'm sorry to hear that.
He should be in prison right now. And yet I don't think they filed any charges. I think they get like 6 years or something stupid to file them. So, oh, this should be on sale, by the way. I'm all looking at my listing going, oh yeah, I have so much to fix. Oh, so here's something that you guys should know about sale prices, by the way. So here's a strategy. You put in, you have a manufacturer suggest a retail price somewhere. A lot of the categories no longer show it. But if you come in here and you put in your price, right? So you put in your price is higher. So like I have it at $39.99. Now, I don't expect anybody to buy it at $39.99, but I leave it at that off season because if somebody ever looks at the historical amount, they'll see that I had it at a higher price. Then I can put in the sale price, and it'll show as a discounted price. But you have to, this will say, oh wait, you have this error. You have to put a date in. So let's say that you just wanted to use this as a permanent strategy, then you could just pick the date and then put it out to like forever from now, right? So like if I wanted to, and this is what I usually do, and then I just come back in and fine tune it. Like when I want to take it off sale, I just come in and take it off sale. So like 2020, September 2020 is really long away. I'm actually going to do December 2020. So theoretically, it could stay on forever. Now, I will tell you that is also technically against the law to have it be on sale for that long. Like you're supposed to legally have it. If this is the price that you offer it, you're supposed to legally have it off of sale for like a certain amount of days during the year. It's like 3 days or something, but nobody's enforcing that on Amazon. So I wouldn't worry about it. So if you want to show that, it is a strategy, and it's a very good strategy too, because people on Amazon want to see that it's on sale. They want to see free shipping and they want to see that it's on sale. Those are the two things. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to come up with whatever my sale price is going to be, is going to include the shipping cost and everything, so I can still offer the free shipping. And I have a free shipping template as well. So if you guys want to, I don't know what Ken's going to cover, and I don't want to kind of duplicate it if he's going to show everything, but I do want to make sure you guys can see that you have a lot of control over this in Amazon. And there's actually other things that you can connect to it to manipulate it and everything. It's pretty insane what you can do on Amazon. But this strategy right here is really good. And if you can get close to 50%, then that's a lot of people like that. No, Linda, I don't know. What are you
saying?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask. You said you didn't know what Ken was covering when.
Yeah, no, they just said they were going to bring Ken on again to do more Amazon stuff.
Someday, at some point.
Yeah, which they said a couple of weeks. So I'm guessing a couple of weeks probably means as it gets closer to the holidays. But, for now, I mean, I'm willing to share whatever information I have, which I do have a lot of it in my brain. But this sales strategy is kind of critical. Like most people, I've only had a handful of people buy stuff at the regular price. Even if you only put $1 difference, it's that mental, it's on sale. It gives them a reason to buy, right? Oh, I bought it because it's on sale. I do that with groceries all the time that I never eat. Oh, I bought the fruit because it was on sale. It tastes like crap, but I bought it because it was on sale.
I do that too.
I want to say that.
Shh.
The start selling date, by the way, is not important. The start selling date is more for if you're going to sell it in the future. Yeah, I haven't Linda, for Ken's webinars under the Conversion Kings, I have not been able to see those yet. I haven't had a chance to, but he did mention, in fact, he mentioned, oh, where is it? I think it's on my laptop. I have a link that he said to go to. It's on the Facebook. No, it's not him. It's the other guy. Facebook. It's the guy that does Trust Message. What's his called? Helps if you spell things right. Trust Apps Academy, maybe? Yes, yeah, I joined it. It's free. And then he said, I'm gonna go into his videos because he gave the link to it, but he said that he did one on, are you gonna show me anything? Hello. It's not, he doesn't have any info on here. Yeah, Martin Cook, yeah. Which is funny because while I don't want to do his software stuff, I think he's a really nice guy. I think he has some valuable information. So I don't know about that. I didn't see what he looked like, but I think he seems like he's a really nice guy that's willing to help people and willing to help and be helpful. And so unlike that one guy that I hate that could say the exact same words and for some reason I just want to like punch him in the throat. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, which is probably a good thing. But this guy, I listened to that webinar with him. Yeah, I listened to the webinar with him on Trex, and he seems like he's just legitimately trying to help. And the only thing is that his pricing for his products is just really high to me. When you can get ManyChat or you can get half these other, like I use Chatmatic, but it doesn't have half the stuff I need. So I'd rather use ManyChat that is a tenth of the price. And that's just kind of the way it works. But he still has valuable products, and I might go to his Linda, I don't know if you remember, what did he mention about the Facebook ads one that analyzes ads? Anyway, he's got a software that does that. I might switch to that closer to the end of the year when I start doing them. But one of these videos is supposed to be, it's probably this one because this looks like Amazon. This is over 50 ways to increase your conversions. So 2 months ago, let me see here. He talked about, see, these are all stuff that he talked about, all this stuff with us. I'm just skipping through. So here's an Amazon listing. So yeah, this is not the Amazon listing one. So I'll have to find it and try to post it in the group or something where he specifically talked about, he said that, oh yeah, go to this particular post, and he gave the post link, and I have that. And it was for how to post on Amazon. So he probably has some good tips. Leave your lover. What? Linda, that is so taken out of context. I could just run with that and make some fun of it. Over 50 ways to leave your lover.
Song.
Oh.
You don't remember that?
Oh, title of his webinar, was it? I didn't even see that. So anyway, so yeah, I think that if he has information in here, it's going to be good. And see, that's the nice thing about that too, is that he's not selling his information. He's selling his software, right? He's promoting his software. So he makes the money from his software. And so that's why he gives the information away for free, which makes his information valid and useful, rather than somebody who's like, yeah, here's my information and I want to upsell you to my next information level. My husband and I were talking about that as being our pet peeves last night or the night before or something. I don't know. Whatever night we didn't have a little girl jumping in bed with us. Oh, no, wait, that's been every single night. She comes in with a big grin on her face last night, and she's like, I'm ready to go to sleep. And we're like, well, then we'll go sleep in your bed. She's like, no, I can't. But then by then we felt so guilty because we're still living with my in-laws, and their house is huge. It's like 3,000 square feet. And our room is on one side of the house, and she's on the other side of the house. And so I guess she went to the bathroom and needed our help. And she was calling and calling and calling and calling. In 20 minutes, we didn't go. And then all of a sudden, Brandon's with us, and he's like, he had texted me, and I finally saw it 15 minutes after he texted me. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I go running over there, and she's crying. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so guilty. So of course, when she walks in saying, I'm ready to climb in bed, I'm like, okay, sure, as long as you're not mad at me. What?
I opened this up.
Okay, well, ask Daddy if you can have it. It's bath toys.
No, No, my daddy told me it's on sale, but I didn't want Daddy to put it on sale.
Oh, he wants to sell it?
No, but I want to keep
Well, let
it.
me see how much it is first, okay? We're going through all the warehouse stuff that we need to sell. She's finding everything that's her age and taking it. Since I was not, do you want to tell a joke? She doesn't really know how to tell jokes.
I really know how.
You don't? Okay, okay, go ahead and tell a joke here. It'll hear you. Tell a joke. Do you want to hear?
Maybe I'll think one.
Oh, you're gonna think of one?
Yeah.
Okay, you think of one, and then we'll keep talking about Amazon while you're thinking of one. Okay, you tell me when you're ready.
Okay.
Okay. She's so funny, by the way. So she can totally swim. No, she can't. But she's in the next swimming class, and her little friend Jaden, who is the most obnoxious child, but she loves him. That's probably why. Right. He's just the only reason why I say he's obnoxious is because he doesn't listen to the instructor person. So the entire time for 30 minutes, all I hear is Jaden, grab the wall. Jaden, grab the wall. Jaden, you're not listening. Jaden, grab the wall. And I'm like, for the love of all that's holy, somebody needs to change his name because I'm tired of hearing Jaden this, Jaden that. And so I already threatened Cassandra's life. I already told her, it's like, you will stand in timeout for the rest of your life if you ever do that. But I got so tired of it. And then he ends up in the same class as her. He had to change his name. Yeah. And I'm like, holy cow. And the mom's sitting right there and says nothing, right? She's like, in fact, I hear her go, I guess he's deaf today. And I'm like, really? Come on. If my child did that, I would get out of the pool right now. I'm like, I would not let her get away with that. But she doesn't like that. So I don't have to worry about it. But so it's her and then Jaden, who's like 4 or 5 inches taller than her. She's tall for her age. So he's got to be like 7. Do you know how old Jaden is?
No.
He's probably like 7 or 8. I don't know. His whole family's really tall, so he could be younger, but not 5. And then there's 2 other boys that are in the group, and they're older. They're like a foot and a half taller than her. They're like probably 12, maybe 10. Let's say 10, 11, something like that. One's older than the other. And they're all in the same group. She's 5 and a half. And she's in that group. And then she goes and she's like, okay, swim to me. And Cassandra's walking along the bottom and just moving her arms. And I just start laughing hysterically. And I'm like, is she in the right class? Because the other kids are like swimming and they're like putting their heads out of the air. But then I heard her afterwards go, so why are you putting them in this class? Because they swim just fine. They could go up to the next level. And the mom's like, oh no, I just want them to get, have some fun in the water. And I'm like, what on earth? So I don't feel as bad anymore. They'll be bored, but she's having fun. She's having a blast. So did you think of a joke yet?
Not yet.
Usually her jokes go like this. There was a guy and he had a hat on his head. That's how they usually go. And she's like, isn't that funny? And I'm like, it's hilarious. She's just grinning. So have you guys ever seen the show Cars, the cartoon Cars?
No.
Joanne, seriously, you are not up on modern cultural cartoons.
I got one.
You got a joke.
Not at all.
Okay, wait, you got it? Okay.
When a kid drops its car and it dies, but it's still alive.
Makes sense. Your jokes are hilarious. So here, this is Cars. You gotta see this. This is awesome. It is Owen Wilson in it. So there's a Cars 3 came out or has been out. It was on the other day on one of the Netflix or something like that. But let's see if it'll show. Here we go. This one right here. Don't show the clip. Don't show the clip. I don't. Now I'm buying hotel tickets. So there is. Let's mute this. Right here, if you can see it, he's called Mater right there. This one with his teeth sticking out.
Mater.
Yeah, that's called Mater. That is the guy that does Get Her Done. I don't know if you've heard of that comedy, the Get Her Done. It's all. So,
No.
but you see his teeth like that? See how his teeth are sticking out? Yeah, Cassandra's teeth are
Yep.
doing that right now. Because they're ready to fall
Oh.
out. So they shifted all forward like that. So we call her Mater now. Okay, now we're just being silly. You Boba teeth, right? Boba teeth. See, now I've taught you a little bit something about.
Of course.
Yeah, it's actually a really cute show. Like they're pretty cute shows. Owen Wilson doesn't do bad stuff, so don't talk like a baby. You know, Daddy's gonna just put you straight in timeout if you do that. She's so silly. She's being goofy for you guys. All right.
Anyway, I got to get going because I have to call a friend for her birthday.
Okay.
And you have an awesome birthday on the.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and cancel the 4th one in case you guys missed that.
Yep. So you have a day off. Yay. And
Yeah, I should
we
probably
will
announce
talk
that.
to you next Monday, right?
Yep, next Monday.
Awesome.
We were gonna do.
Well, you have a good one.
If I hear from Alonzo, we were gonna talk about doing more of what did I say? How to research a product, which I kind of did talk a little bit. 38. I'll be 38. I'm like, don't get that wrong. Even though you guessed younger, I should have said, yeah, 37. That's exactly what I'll be. Linda guessed 37. It's 38.
Yep.
I can't. My daughter tells me, you and Aunt Chrissy are going to be 38.
You're old.
Anyway.
Okay, guys, listen, have a good night. You have a happy
you too.
birthday, and I will talk to you on Monday.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming, Linda. Have a great 4th of July.
You too.
Right,
Bye-bye.
bye.